The video that you're watching now was supposed to be the second of two car camera reviews that I was doing for cameras that cost approximately £40 and recorded it in HD. This was the first one that I reviewed that's on screen now, and it was okay, it did the job, nothing special. The second one was supposed to be one of these. These are commonly known as the K2000. It's all over eBay at the moment, and it promises to record in 1080p H.264, which is quite impressive for a camera in this price bracket. So I went ahead and got one in, but unfortunately things didn't work out quite as planned. I suppose I should have been able to spot the warning signs. It comes in a plastic bag, which is not unusual for devices from Hong Kong. They sometimes repackage them to save on postage costs. This was more worrying though, a little piece of paper that tells you what to do if the camera crashes. And then there was this thing, which is the bracket that holds it to the windscreen. It was snapped in half, and the other part wasn't even in the bag. But the camera itself looks kind of normal. In fact, it looked like the ones on the pictures. On the front here you've got a lens that you can spin up and down. You've got two LEDs either side of that, the mounting bracket on the bottom there, micro SD card slot on the back, a fold down twistable screen there. Standard layout on the sides there, a USB port and 3 buttons on that side, and on this side 3 buttons and a sticker, and that's where things started going a bit odd. Notice the real one should have an HDMI socket there, whereas mine had a sticker. So let's see what's under the sticker. A thing that looks like where an HDMI port should be if they'd put one on it. But then again, going into the menus, everything seemed to be fine there. You could select HD, you could do all the changes, change the time and date and all that kind of stuff. It all seemed to work perfectly fine, so the operating system was alright. There was another fault though. See that dot in the middle of the screen, that dark part there? That's somewhere on the sensor. It's not on the front of the lens. I did try cleaning it off, and it was right dead centre of my footage, which was a bit annoying. Now, another strange thing, the LEDs on this one for night vision, well, it's just a torch really. You wouldn't want that shining out of the front of your car windscreen. But that's not entirely unusual in cameras like this, so I put the camera in the car anyway, mounted it on a different bracket that I'd found that managed to fit it. When you power the car up, the camera comes on just as it should do. And of course I'm checking to see here that it starts recording, which is what it is doing there. So that was fine. Remember with the first one, I had a fault with the car charging lead. I had to replace it with a different one, whereas on this one the car lead worked fine. Again, switch the engine off and wait for a second or two, and the display switches off and it turns off. So that's all okay. Let's have a look at the footage from it. And it's at this point that I realised I've been duped. I've been sold a fake camera. Well, I mean, it's a real camera, it does record things, but it's not the camera that I thought I was buying. It's some kind of copy of a knockoff of a duplicate of a replica of whatever the real camera was supposed to be. You can see from the footage here that it's rather washed out and jerky. Remember, this is supposed to be HD, and it's certainly not HD. It's more like maybe 640 by 480 upscaled to 1280 by 960, or it might even be 320 by 240 upscaled. It's very hard to say, but what I can say is it looks pretty bad. Have a listen to the sound.
This is a test of the sound recording capabilities of the camera.
Not exactly lossless audio quality there, and of course it's a similar story when it comes to recording at night. Not very impressive at all. So give this camera a wide berth, but then again, I wasn't intended to buy this camera either. I wanted a K2000, and the only reason I ended up with this one is because I wasn't paying attention. I should have read the eBay auction more carefully, then I would have realised that it actually wasn't a K2000, it was just something that looked like it. So this one's going in the bin, and I'd advise everyone just to pay attention on eBay so you don't end up falling into the same trap that I did. Now, there's another camera that's coming along instead. There's a guy in the UK that sent me two cameras, one HD, one SD. He's got sole rights to distribute these in the UK. They're called smart cams. I'll show you all about them on the next video, but it does have an HDMI socket on there. Now, I just want to show you something from it. Have a look at this nighttime footage. This is from the HD camera, and it's some of the best footage I've ever shot at night time. You can see people like this drunk speed past me at 60 miles an hour in a 30 zone, or this lunatic pull off the pavement straight in front of the car in glorious 720p HD. So that review is going to be coming as soon as I can get it ready, but in the meantime, if you're driving drunk, don't do it. Or if you're surfing drunk, make sure you read the small print on the eBay auctions. And all that remains for me now is to say thanks for watching.